Life doesn't reward excuses. Life rewards those that stand up and compete to be better than they were yesterday, and to be better than the man to the left of them, and better to the man to the right to them. And when they're not the best, gentlemen, what's going on? We are men. Part of our nature is to compete. But in the modern age, a lot of times we find ourselves comparing ourselves to other people, their ideals, their standards, where they're at in life, and it's like we're staring at a mountain and we just throw in the towel. We don't want to put in the effort that it takes to get where they're at. We make up excuses why they're evil, or they only got there because they cheated, or we're better off where we're at. We're more intelligent. We know what we're talking about. Them idiots. We make up excuses instead of competing. Instead of competing against the world. Instead of competing against self. See, it's not so much about competing against that person or where they're at. It's about competing against the fat, lazy, ignorant, dumb ass that I was last year. How many of us are in competition against our older versions, our worst version? Are we competing against self? Are we comparing ourselves to other people and coming up with excuses why we can't get there? And I watched a video. This is coming from me watching this video yesterday, where obese people were talking about body positivity. They were saying that health comes in all shapes, and that dieting can be oppressive towards overweight people, and that society judges obese people. And my response is, okay, Debbie, I get genetics, and I'm kind of a big bone person as well, man. A slow metabolism. Always had to watch what I eat and exercise, or I will become chubby. But Debbie's at the all-you-can-eat buffet on her third trip. Maybe she needs to put down the plate, shut the fork up, and go find a treadmill. It seems that everybody and their dog, yes, their dog in this day and age, is oppressed and looking to push the easy button so that they can come up with an excuse of why they're not at top. And those people at top, well, they're oppressive and evil, and they've did something horrible to get where they're at with all their money and their in-shape bodies and their perfect lifestyle. For every person that's putting in the work to get to the top of the mountain, there's 99 that are pointing fingers and coming up with excuses of why that's stupid to be at the top, or why they can't be at the top, or why they're fine with being at the bottom. Yet they have this envy and this jealousy. Therefore, they try to bring down the person at the top because secretly they want to be there. And I know you're thinking right now, yes, those freaking idiots. But before we become too quick to judge other people and their apparent flaws, let's think about the easy buttons that we try to push in life. Right? For the obese people, or much like an alcoholic where you can smell their addiction on them, our addictions, our secrets, our little easy buttons that we like to push on a daily basis, they're not so noticeable. They're not so apparent. We can easily conceal our secrets and our flaws. And again, the theme of the channel for this year is to go inward, to begin to work on that inner turmoil that goes on within us so that we can break free of our own enslaving entanglements, ideas, ideologies, easy buttons that we like to push. What are we pushing on a continual basis that's preventing us from reaching the top, from competing against those around us, from competing against ourselves? And here's another thing. You hear this in kind of the self-improvement alleys, is it's not about competing against anybody else. It's about competing against self. And I 100% firmly believe in competing against self. But as a man, in order to traverse life, it's about competing against other people as well. You better recognize that, or you're going to get left behind, because there's people out there competing for your job. They're competing for your relationships. They're competing for your time. They're competing for your money. They're competing for your very existence. They want to be at the top. And if you settle for where you're at, there's always going to be somebody above you. I guarantee you, life is very much about competing against other people. We recognize this in the weak, woke culture where, oh no, we don't want to compete. Everybody's equal. Let's get this level playing field. Let's bring down those that choose fitness. Let's bring down those that choose financial freedom. We're all down here. There's health in all shapes. It's okay to be poor. It's okay to be weak. Bullshit. Part of being a man is overcoming those limitations that keep everybody else enslaved. The nature of man is to rise above that. Competition against self, to become a better person, to say, I'm leaving that old dude in the dust. Competition against the guy to the left of you. Competition against the guy to the right of you. How can I be better? But the key here is that we're not constantly comparing ourselves so that we come up with excuses of why we can't do that. If the dude to the left of me can achieve that success, so can I. He's merely a man. He put in the work, he put in the time. That's what it requires. So I'm going to sacrifice that instead of looking for an easy button and say, oh God, I'm so oppressed. You just don't understand. It's genetic why I'm fat, and genetic why I'm ugly, and genetic why I'm a piece of shit. Bullshit. Life is harsh. Can we get harder than the harsh realities so that we overcome that participation trophy culture generation that says, oh God, the easy button's not working for me. Oh, I must be oppressed. Life is hard. We have to get harder. We quit comparing ourselves to everybody else. Focus on what the hell I have to do today to get better. What's one step I can take today to be better than I was yesterday? And then what's another step that I can take to be better than the guy to the left of me? What's another step I can take to be better than Debbie at her 4th plate on the all-you-can-eat buffet? Shut the fork up, Debbie. We have to begin to ask ourselves, what can I do to get better than myself yesterday? What can I do to get better than the guy that I'm competing against? And yes, life's a competition. Maybe we don't like that. Maybe we wish it was just rainbows and easy buttons. But it never has been. It never will be. We keep looking for the easy buttons of life because we hate being frustrated. We want it now. We want it now. The principles of life from the beginning of time, from the great Stoics that have wrote, from anybody that I've ever listened to, read, studied, it's all about patience. Patience has been the key from day one to overcome that human nature that says now, now, now. The whole world wants it now, but they're not willing to put in the work. You're a man. You have the balls and backbone to put in the work and look at the rest of the sheep laying there saying, oh, where's my handouts? And say, ha ha, I'm at the top, you're at the bottom. You're not going to bring me down with your excuses and your weakness. We have to quit making excuses. Life doesn't reward excuses. Life rewards those that stand up and compete to be better than they were yesterday and to be better than the man to the left of them and better to the man to the right to them. And when they're not the best, they don't come up with excuses. They find reasons why they should get up and keep competing. Love and respect, gentlemen. You will hear from me next episode.